Israel and Iran are aggressively bombing each other. Are we in the middle of World War III?
Everybody's gonna die.
According to reports, the Israeli Air Force struck storage and missile launch infrastructure in western Iran on Sunday, June 15th, Israel's military said, as attacks in Iran entered a third day. President Trump said on Saturday that the unfolding conflict between Israel and Iran should end. But one Israeli official said that even Iran's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, is not off limits from targeting as Israel proceeds with its intensive air campaign in Iran, which in turn has launched its own retaliatory strikes.
The hardest choices require the strongest ones.
The comments offered further indication that Israel's attacks are aimed not only at Iran's nuclear program, but also at hobbling the regime politically and militarily.
Try and hurt me now.
Israel began striking Iran early morning on Friday, June 13th, and has faced 2 nights of Iranian missile and drone attacks. At least 78 people in Iran have been killed in the Israeli strikes, and in Israel the number rose to 14 after nearly a dozen people were killed overnight in the latest waves of missiles. Israel has also claimed to have gained control of the skies over the Iranian capital and warned that Tehran will burn if more missiles are fired at its territory, but the Iranian leadership remained defiant, vowing a more severe and powerful response, and threatened to widen the war by striking ships and bases of Israeli allies. The mutual threats reflected the risks of a dramatic escalation in the conflict, as U.S.-Iranian negotiations planned before the war in Oman were abandoned after Tehran said they would be meaningless, and Israel appeared to target Iran's gas industry.
We did keep the oil, if you don't mind.
Israeli rhetoric reflected its leaders' growing confidence that they have gained the upper hand and raised questions over whether Israel's war aims could go beyond the stated objective of crippling Iran's nuclear program. The threat to destroy Tehran was delivered by Israel's Defense Minister Israel Katz after Iran responded to the surprise Israeli attack on Friday morning with a barrage of several hundred ballistic missiles and drones, a small percentage of which succeeded in penetrating Israeli defenses and killed 3 people in Tel Aviv and Rishon LeZion. Katz, whose forces have already razed large parts of Gaza, held Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei responsible for Tehran's fate.
Plan B.
The Iranian dictator is taking the citizens of Iran hostage, bringing about a reality in which they, and especially Tehran's residents, will pay a heavy price for the flagrant harm inflicted upon Israel's citizens, Katz said. If Khamenei continues to fire missiles at the Israeli home front, Tehran will burn. The Israel Defense Forces, also known as the IDF, targeted the air defenses around the capital city on Saturday morning and became increasingly confident they had achieved complete air superiority and freedom of action. The aerial road to Tehran is effectively open, and IDF